Start Over Strong, Life After a DUI, a podcast for people, not offenders. Brought to you by Smart Start, the nation's most trusted, judgment-free ignition interlock provider.
Hello and welcome to our episode today. I'm Morgan Ryan with Smart Start. Today we are discussing the highly contested topic of false positives. Will my breakfast, my mouthwash, or even an Altoid cause an inaccurate reading? Today with us, we have Steve Luce. He is an expert that's going to be discussing really what's fact and what's fiction when it comes to car breathalyzers, ignition interlock devices, and the truth behind false positives. Steve, thanks for joining us. Welcome to the show.
Happy to be here.
So tell us what you do, Steve, at Smart Start.
I am Vice President of Field Sales at Smart Start.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for joining us. Izzy and I know this is a highly contested topic. We're very passionate about this. Izzy, tell us why.
Yeah, I think being part of the care center, leading the care center, we hear a lot of our customers asking questions. It's always constantly a topic of conversation. People are asking, hey, I have a reading and it's because I had a breath mint or I had sourdough or I had something spicy and that's the reason why. So it's always a topic of conversation and we're here to advocate and really show what is truth and what is fiction.
Yes. So Steve, I don't know if you know this, but Izzy and we're the stigma-free team, right? So yes. we represent the market and we are sick and tired for those that are sick and tired on Reddit and in the community that are using an IID that are running into the false positive situation. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Is it really a false positive?
No, it's a device. Basically, it's an alcohol fuel cell that's doing its job.
Okay.
So
the device is designed to detect alcohol. And so the fuel cell within the device is doing its job because there's alcohol, if I'm understanding, in food.
Right. I'll give you a little example. So if you're in your house and you have a smoke alarm and your smoke alarm goes off, you're looking for the reason why, right? Maybe you cook something, you're burning something. It's usually not that your house is on fire, but the detector is doing its job. The same thing when you go to the airport and you walk through the metal detector, it may go off, but maybe it's because it's your belt or you have metal in your shoe or whatever it may be. It's not because you're carrying a weapon with you. So same thing with an alcohol, any kind of alcohol breath testing device. It has the fuel cell in there. It's just waiting in there. It's waiting for it to look for alcohol. So if you give it alcohol to look at, it's going to say, hey, I saw alcohol, and it's going to tell you about it.
Okay, that's really helpful. One of the things, Izzy, that you touched on is that our customers are out there using this, and in the event that they do sort of set off the device or receive what we would consider like an inaccurate reading. Today, we are going to talk about not only the science behind it, a little bit more myth versus fact, but also best practices and prevention tips. That's a huge one. And then key takeaways, really what a false positive is versus a mouth contaminant and how to avoid it. So that's the key today. We are here to set the record straight.
Right. Let's get it right for them.
Okay. So I did also bring some of my homemade sourdough for y'all to try today. Steve, can you help us understand before we get started with this experiment, the amount that you need to have in your mouth? I just want to point that out before we start.
Yeah, I'm gonna step back just a little bit, just give you a little history, if that's okay. So my history goes back from my previous career when I was a trooper in the impaired driving section. I would get calls from courts, attorneys, and all kinds of things. This caused a failure either on the evidential breath test or on an ignition interlock device. So been testing these kind of products with the alcohol monitoring devices for a very long time. And so what you have to do most of the time is, I would say, we called it looking like a squirrel or a chipmunk, is you grab your device and you fill your mouth with whatever that substance is. So you're going to see us get puffy cheeks here with lots of food, and you have to blow through that to actually get any kind of results. So, and when we're looking at breads, we're looking at, mouthwashes, which have alcohol in them to start with. We're looking at an old banana, which is starting to ferment, which may have some alcohol in it. So any kind of substance there has yeast in it that may create some alcohol.
Okay. How about energy drinks?
Energy drinks, yes, they can have a little bit of alcohol in them, considering alcohol, sugar alcohols and all those kind of things that are in there. We're going to see a lot today. I'll tell you right off the bat, it's going to be low levels. We're going to see low levels that many of them wouldn't affect your interlock device.
Okay. So if the device does go off and it is detected, does that mean that I get a violation and I'm in trouble?
If you blow over the value of a 0.025 or 0.030, which is common across the country as the fail level, yes, you would have to go into your service center for service at that point.
Okay, so there's what's called short-term alcohol, which is mouth alcohol,
Mm-hmm.
as I'm understanding, versus true intoxication. What's the difference there?
So our devices are set up we want to get ingested alcohol. So we're looking for what you've drank. It's gone through your bloodstream into your lungs, and that's why we're testing breath alcohol, because about 8 to 10% of the alcohol is excreted through bodily functions and your breath. And so that's what we're trying to capture. A mouth contaminant, something that you put in from your mouth that you've been eating or drank or mouthwash, that's going to get a real high reading real quickly. But if you rinse your mouth with water, it's going to instantly go away and you're going to have nothing.
Okay.
So
you mentioned that if I blow a 0.25%, I'm going to have to get my device recalibrated or taken in. Are any of these items today going to bring me to that result and cause a violation, Steve?
So it's 0.025.
0.025.
So 0.25,
Sorry.
yes, we would have you
I
on
didn't
the
mean to say
floor. And that would be really
0.25.
bad.
That would be beyond inebriation.
Yeah.
Morgan is unresponsive.
It'd be 911.
Yes.
So yeah. So we're at 0.025. So we're looking at, we're going to see some third digits. So to give you an idea, legally impaired is 0.08 across the country. We're going to see 0.007, 0.001.
Okay.
And we're going to see very low level until we hit the mouthwash. We're going to hit that pretty hard and we're going to get some high levels. But,
Okay.
Izzy we may need to help him get out of his chair so that mouthwash can do a number for you.
Let's get started. I'm so excited for this episode. Let's put the Smart Start Ignition Interlock device to the test. Okay, for all the Monster drinkers and Rockstar drinkers out there, we're going to start first with this energy drink. So I'm going to pass these to you and you guys can get started.
All right. So today we're actually using not an interlock device. We're actually using what's called our Insight device. I'll hold it up here. This is an evidentiary device we can use in the courts, and people that are not allowed to drink, this is what we put them on or we monitor them. So it's a very accurate device. If you fail on it, it has to take 2 more tests. So we may taking multiple tests. And we have
Can you explain that? So the interlock device the device that you're using, an interlock device is going to operate and function the same way.
It's going to function exactly the same way. This is just a little more convenient for us in this atmosphere because it's not attached to a car. So we couldn't fit the car in. So we brought this, which is a little bit smaller. So
awesome. And the breath check, sorry.
So the breath check is a little bit smaller device. It's connected to a phone. It's a low risk. So it's smaller and more convenient. And it only takes 1 sample from the client. So we just use it if someone is being monitored at a low level.
Okay, great. All right, let's go ahead and get started.
All right. So the first time we'll get this thing going here.
So this is the mouthpiece that Steve has. He's putting it into the device. He's getting it prepared. And in goes the energy drink.
Okay. So you do have to hold this in your mouth also, so I apologize.
And there goes Steve. He's going to blow while the energy drink is actually in his mouth to try and push it.
We're going to have to redo that one.
Sorry. He's going to get so amped. Steve, you'll be bouncing off the walls.
Hold on a second. We'll try again.
Round 2 of Steve attempting the energy drink Rockstar punched.
So it says stop blowing. It's now analyzing our blow, and it's a 0.00. I don't know if you can see that, but there's no alcohol reading from that actual punched Rockstar. I do feel like I have a little more energy, though.
Excellent. Okay. Next on the list, we have, I'm sure the ladies love this. This is kombucha or kombucha, however you say it. I'm going to go ahead and pass these over to you both. We'll have Izzy start first. Yep. Okay. So Izzy is
kombucha.
Bottoms up, 0.5% alcohol by volume. No, I know.
Keep blowing. Oh, yeah.
I ran out. Let me try.
Another round 2 for Izzy with the kombucha. And it goes, this is 0.5% alcohol by volume. Okay, and he stopped blowing.
Analyzing. Oh, 0.006.
0.006,
So it
ladies
did
and gentlemen.
register kombucha.
It did register. And Steve, because it did register, I would like for you to do the kombucha as well on the breath check, if you don't mind.
Yeah, I can do it on the breath check. And again, 0.006 would not set off your interlock. So it's a low level. It's below the 0.025.
So in the event that it did go off on the interlock or it did register as 0.06, you would be prompted to blow again?
Nope, because it's below. That's a warn level is 0.024. So it wouldn't even show up.
Thank you,
it's
Steve.
such a low level.
That is really good for our viewers to know.
So this device does a couple little different things. So you're going to hear me say a weird phrase. It also detects my face. So it's a little bit different type of device here.
Yeah, and one thing that we don't show, but when we're blowing, the actual Insight device has a camera that is recording your face as you blow. So you see yourself blowing into the device. Again, that was a Reddit question before, but it does record you blowing into the device.
Yes, lots of questions on Reddit.
May zebra. All right.
Okay, and Steve is now taking his first attempt at the kombucha. He's going to blow into the breath check device. This is a handheld device. The results will populate on the app. There was a click. He then stopped blowing into the device, and now we're waiting for the results.
0.000.
0.000. Fantastic. Okay. Next, we're going to move to these spicy mango gummies. I am someone who loves Mexican food. I have spicy burritos all the time and spicy tacos, burrito, all the things. Izzy, I know you do too.
Yeah, that spicy question comes up pretty frequently, honestly.
Yes.
You think people do not want to quit their spicy food? So they absolutely want to know if it's going to register on their device.
One thing they're not going to quit is spicy food. Okay, and let's have both Izzy and Steve. We're going to put all of the spicy mango gummies into our mouth. We're going to chipmunk. Excellent.
Well, cool. I'll show that.
Chew it up. Get it nice and spicy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little envious right now.
You're good.
All right.
There goes Steve blowing into the device with the spicy mango gummies. The beep has prompted him to stop.
000.
No results on that. All right. Now Izzy is getting the device prepared. All right. Spicy mango gummies. Izzy, let's see if you can get it to
0.000.
0.000 on the spicy mango gummies. So spicy tacos are still
spicy.
in.
You can eat spicy food.
Mm-hmm.
Spicy tacos are safe. Okay, great. Next, we're going to go ahead and switch to fruit. This is pineapple, and then we'll do the quote-unquote rotten banana or turning banana.
Just get this rolling.
If you want to do the inside or the inside, and I'll do this one. Mm-hmm. Since you already have your app set to that one.
And in goes the pineapple. We've got our chipmunks here.
Donut Beach.
Pass 0.000.
So no on the pineapple.
No
Okay,
pineapple.
let's see what the breath check does with the pineapple. And the results are
Pineapple's much better than the spicy. 0.000.
0.000. Excellent. Okay, and now the banana.
With the banana, a brown banana is preferred, turning brown because you have that alcohol that's fermenting inside the banana. So a real dark banana, but this should.
These are banana bread bananas.
Banana bread bananas. They get better with time.
0.000.
All right, so no on the banana for Izzy. Banana bread banana.
000 on the breath check.
And 000 on the breath check for the banana bread banana. Now that we have banana bread on the mind, would y'all like to try some of Morgan's homemade sourdough?
Yes, please.
Do it.
Okay, so her name is Jolene.
Totally.
She is a real living organism. And she is only 5 years old, so quite young for some sourdough bakers, but I will go ahead and pass that over to y'all.
Did you bake this like last night or?
That is technically 2 days old. So ideally you want to consume sourdough within, 3 to 5 days.
Really good. Need some butter, but really good.
The good news is they're a fan of the sourdough. That's good. And this sourdough, actually, this is probably important to note. I do use what's called the hooch in my sourdough. I don't discard that. It's a high alcohol content to help bring up that bacteria quickly. This sourdough was also baked in the state of Texas in a dry season.
All right, I think I'm ready.
Okay, Izzy is blowing into the device on the sourdough, and the result is
0.10.
0.10 on Morgan's sourdough.
Yellow.
0.006.
0.006. So in the event that this happens, I've had Morgan sourdough for breakfast and I do blow into the device and it is a 0.010. What happens? Is it still considered just a mouth alcohol at that point?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You're still not high enough to actually get to the warn value. So you're not there yet.
Understood. So sticking in line with bread, very popular breakfast item. This item in particular is something that we see a lot on Reddit, setting off false positives. So we're going to go ahead and stick with a honey bun. This may be a snack or something that someone does have for breakfast. So I'll pass the honey buns around. I know there are many folks out there really hoping that the honey bun does not set off the IID.
I have a different approach.
In it goes, and it's down.
Here we go. 0.014.
0.014. So higher.
Correct. Higher than sourdough.
Higher than sourdough. Interesting.
I think that's the thing you look at is too, we're stuffing our mouths, right? We're not normal people. Well, I don't know if Izzy's normal, but
It is a honey bun. Don't expect me not to take a giant bite.
Yeah, that one actually was really good. So the last two have been the best.
Yeah, we don't hold them in our mouth normally. So
I've heard too that waiting 5 to 10 minutes after you eat is helpful. Okay, Steve is blowing as well with the honey bun, and the result for Steve is
0.000.
0.0000. Interesting. You can see how two different people eating the same item and the different way that they each chose to eat it has rendered a significantly different result. Okay, next we're going to switch to a bagel. We have a basic bagel today. To make this a little more appetizing and realistic, we did choose a cream cheese to go on your bagel. It is a brown sugar cinnamon cream cheese. And in goes the bagel. This is a lot of carbs for you, Izzy.
It is.
You're fitness focused. This is your cheat day today.
I'm going to have to do a fast tomorrow.
Comes back to trooper life right here.
Steve's a pro.
Here we go. 0.016.
0.016, the highest reading we've seen so far. I did want to clarify, too, that none of these will cause a real test failure if proper guidelines and protocols are followed. As we finish up our experiment here, we can start talking about really best practices and prevention tips. Waiting 5 to 10 minutes after eating, drinking, and using mouthwash is a good tip.
007.
0.007. I believe that is the highest reading we've had so far as well for Steve.
As we're doing this, Steve, does body size have anything to do with it? I mean, you're 3-4 inches taller than me, right? So
Steve coming in at 7 feet tall, former Washington State trooper.
But they should have asked you that when your mouth wasn't.
I thought you were going to talk about how fat I was.
No. I meant height, body composition in general.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I think it, that's when we talked about, talk about row or burn off rate. So everybody's composition, females are different because they have a water composition in the body versus males, muscle versus fat. So yeah, it does make a difference. And that's mostly with your ingested alcohol relating back to burn off rates and things like that. What we're doing here today, it does, more water in what I had it more in my mouth, but I took some water and more water soluble. So the alcohol is not as prevalent, where maybe you didn't have as much water and you had a different round. So and we're getting at remember, we're hitting low levels. This is we're at the third and we're very low. It's barely being detected. So
sure. And again, the fuel cell is designed to detect alcohol. So it's doing its job, similar to how you described a smoke detector.
Yeah.
Okay, next we have brioche. This is a very, very popular bread, highly sold stateside here. So let's go ahead and give this one a try. I do want to reassure everyone as well that Smart Start's customer care team is always available to you 24/7, 365. We are bilingual as well for any questions you have, especially if you do end up in a lockout situation with your ignition interlock device.
All right, brioche.
Okay, brioche bread. We have Izzy blowing into the device, and the result of brioche bread is
0.010.
0.01.
0.010. So it did register.
Did register. And Steve, I would love to see the breath check as well on this one.
.000 on this one.
0.000 on the breath check for the brioche bread. Next, we have a slice of pizza. So if you're out at lunch or dinner and need to use your vehicle, what does a slice of pizza do?
Pizza.
Okay, Izzy blowing into the device with pizza, pepperoni pizza, and the result is
0.000. No reading.
no reading on the pizza. Fantastic. Users can also feel confident in knowing that Smart Start devices really truly are there to protect you because of their accuracy. We exist to serve and save lives, but we also know that our device has a phenomenal technology stack. We're seeing today that the device does work, and rest assured that what we have seen set off the device are mouth alcohols, not intoxicated levels, and again, waiting 5 to 10 minutes after eating, drinking, or using specifically mouthwash is helpful. Steve is blowing into the breath check device after a piece of pepperoni pizza, and the result is
0.000.
0.000 on the pizza. Fantastic. All right, next we have some Krispy Kreme. We're going to end on dessert here.
Pass. 0.007.
You are so excited. Pass.
I can eat donuts.
.011.
0.011. Interesting. Okay.
Krispy Kreme.
On the Krispy Kreme for Steve. Okay, we have 2 minty items left. The first, we're going to do Altoids. Show this so everybody can see. We have Altoids here.
It's about 20, so that's what we'll try to get a result with. Come on, Izzy, you can beat me.
I don't know if I can do 20. We'll get them out here. 0.000. No reading.
Incredible.
0.000.
0.000. Incredible. Last but not least, we have mouthwash. Show this to everybody. We have some scope here. And now we're going to wait a series of minutes to allow the alcohol to burn off, so to speak. There's a window of time there where the longer we wait, the higher the reading will be.
So it's 0.157. So almost double the legal limit is what you're looking at the number there. So, and you'll see, I'll take a test here in just a minute. It'll drop rapidly. So if we rinse our mouth and go on, you take yours, but it'll come back.
Here we go. Yes, violation 0.189.
0.189 and 0.157. Now let's kind of dig in here for a minute. These are readings that are accurate. These are not necessarily a false positive because the device is accurate and fair. It is designed to detect alcohol. That's what it's doing. But these are short-term mouth alcohols. This is not true intoxication. So I'm Izzy. I've just blown a 0.189. What do I do?
It reads temporary lockout right now. And there's a timer for 1 minute and 54 seconds.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and fast forward to 1 minute and 54 seconds.
It's 0.023, still a violation.
0.023, still a violation. So in this instance, Izzy, based on what state you're in, you could continue to retest as many times as your state dictates. Steve, what's the highest amount of retest attempts you've seen?
The highest starting was 121 times individuals tried to start their car with a BREC over the level. So
interesting. And what we have seen today is the way that Izzy's body is obviously treating mouth alcohols a lot differently than yours, Steve. And so Izzy will continue to attempt now a third time after using mouthwash. This is significant because it shows us the importance of waiting and also rinsing our mouth with water before we attempt to initiate our vehicle or blow into a breathalyzer.
And with ingested alcohol, you get that consistent, right? We wouldn't see any fluctuation. It wouldn't drop at all.
Right. This is attempt 3, third attempt. .012. So down substantially.
0.012 now. Izzy can start his vehicle. He is well on his way. Steve, true or false in this situation, do these count as violations against Izzy?
I think there's two different things. Is he attempting to start his vehicle, or is he already started his vehicle and this is a retest? If it's a retest, it is a violation. If he's just starting his vehicle, no, he just won't be able to start his car. But if he's driving down the road and already started it, and he takes some mouthwash in his mouth and he's driving and it's a violation, then yes, you're going to have a violation, but not for your initial start.
What happens in the event of a violation, that it was a retest?
If he has a violation, then there's a lockout window, and depending on the state you're in, 3 to 5 days, you'll have to go to your service center, get the device downloaded, and they'll reset the device, and you're on your way at that point.
Understood. Okay, well, thank you so much. I wanted to just touch base real quickly on the overview of best practices. So we've learned, Izzy, the importance of using water, rinsing our mouth out with water, waiting 5 to 10 minutes after eating or drinking, and especially using mouthwash. And understanding that our IID technology works. It exists to detect alcohol. That's what the fuel cell is doing. Before we leave, though, today, Izzy, we do have a question from Reddit.
So I'm actually going to have Steve answer this one more time because I think it's an important question. So the Reddit question with the expert here is, if something like mouthwash gives me a positive reading, will that count as a violation?
Again, kind of just like we spoke about. If you're starting your car, no, it just won't allow you to start your car. If you've already started your car and you're driving down the road and you do mouthwash, you're going to get a violation. You will have to go into the service center at that point.
Perfect.
Thank you so much. Thank you for joining our episode today. Izzy and I were very passionate about shedding light on false positives, which we call mouth contaminants in the industry for car breathalyzers. Thank you to our Reddit community for your accountability and support. Again, we are the stigma-free IID brand of choice in market. You can actually use coupon code STIGMA-FREE and get your first 2 payments free.
Or you can call us at 844-766-0156. Speak to one of our program advisors and get some free advice.
Until next time, stay safe,
drive smart.
smart.